As a part-time traveling notary with a full-time job, balancing everything can be tough, especially when you're getting calls at all hours. That's where Sabrina AI comes in. Think of Sabrina as your personal assistant who answers every call, handles appointment bookings, provides quick answers to common questions, and filters out non-urgent inquiries. Sabrina works 24/7 so you never miss a client opportunity, even when you're tied up with your full-time job. With this system, you can keep things running smoothly without the stress of managing calls yourself, giving you more time to focus on your work, clients, and everything else life throws your way.
Scan the QR code for a free demo.
Peace, peace, peace. Yeah. Peace, peace, peace. This is your international 3-time best-selling author, Tiger Toledo, and you already know what it is, man. You rocking with the best. I'm accompanied here by my brother from Cali, West Coast. How you do it like this, right? West Coast in the building. Tech Amaku. What up, Tech?
Hey, man. Sabrina's so good. I got the baby with me, so think about this. If you're occupied and you're full-time job, your part-time job, you're driving with the baby, family man, family woman, you're on the toilet, you sleeping, you're out in the garden, you're shopping, you're at school, you're cooking, you're baking, you're on vacation. I could go on and on and on and on and on about how many ways you can use Sabrina. So you're on the podcast, all kind of different ways. So you might hear a little baby in the background, but again, I'm not worried about booking appointments. I'm like Lisa from Instagram. I'm not worried. All it's gonna tell me is book the appointment.
Indeed. Shout out to baby Kimba.
Kimba. I scared him earlier. He's right here. But
I hear him right now.
Yeah, he'll be okay.
How you feeling today, man?
Pretty good, man. Just hanging out with the baby and keeping him comfortable.
Yeah, we got some great topics today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us, Notary Insights. I am your host, accompanied by Tech Amaku. We are the host of this new show that we are rolling out called Notary Insights. We're going to be doing some different things this time, a little bit different than the Notary War Room, and we've rolled out a couple of shows since then. But we're going to be doing some notary trivia, which is going to be fun. It's going to be basically true or false. So if you are watching on other platforms like Facebook or Instagram or even LinkedIn, I would recommend go to YouTube because you have a better live interactive experience with that. So we're going to be doing a notary trivia. Then we're going to discuss the topic of the day. And then we're also going to go into our latest segment, which is called Money Corner with Tech Amaku, which is phenomenal. What to do with your finances, man. Because you guys are going to make money, and you're probably already making money in this notary industry. So it's important that you move your money right so you can circulate it. So you'll know the theme song. There's a theme song for the Money Corner. It's circle it. You got to circle it. And then, of course, we'll just finish everything off. But for those that are tuning in right now, shout out your city. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Come on. We're all family here. Shout out your city. You see the banner at the bottom. Shout out your city. We want to know where you guys are representing. Shout out to the IG clan. Ghost Squad is in the building. Tech, you want to add anything right now while I look this over real quick?
Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to the Money Corner. That's all.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite segments right now. And let you guys know that show is going to branch off on its own because it's that powerful. We've heard your comments and everything, so it's going to branch out on its own. Me and Tech talked about it, and it's going to be lit. Okay. We got Detroit in the building. We got Michigan, Detroit, Michigan, NY is always in the building. West Coast, SoCal. All right. So I see you guys. All right. So first things first, we're going to go over the first question of the day. True or false? You can add it into the comment section. True or false? A notary can notarize a document even if it's blank. True or false? I'll give you guys a couple of seconds. True or false? Put it in the comment section. A notary can notarize a blank document. Is that true or is that false? Join our notary trivia for today. Okay. All right. So let me pull this up. The answer is false. A notary cannot notarize a blank document. So the next question I'm gonna have for you right now. Let me pull this up. Next, this is general notary knowledge, y'all. So we're not going into the advanced stages yet.
What's general notary?
Yeah, just general. The next question is, a notary's main duty is to verify the accuracy of the document's contents. True or false?
Man, it's up to it. It depends on your states. You got to know your state handbook. Where's my notary primer? Let me hang on a second. Let me look it up. Let me pull out my Google machine. Let me figure out if I need to validate. Listen, thumbprint, signature. Those are the two rules. If you are ever confused, those are the two rules that you can always fall back on. Thumbprint, signature. And I know there's some states who don't require a thumbprint. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. That's bananas. That's loco. How can you prove that that person is a living, breathing person if you don't get the thumbprint, Tiger? Mm. If this person doesn't have lungs in their or air just in their lungs and blood flowing through the veins and they don't have a thumbprint and you don't obtain it, how could you ever prove if the situation may arise that that person was a living, breathing person and that you saw them, that you physically laid eyes on them? Signature, thumbprint. So the answer is, I forgot what the question was, true or false, but it's true. It's true and it's false. Okay.
Okay. So again, I'll say the question again. True or false? A notary main duty is to verify the accuracy of the document's contents.
Oh, I see. Listen, the answer is false.
That is correct. Ding, 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 ding. A notary only verifies the identity of the signer and ensures that the signing is willing.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, all right. Don't get crazy.
Yeah. So we got one more in the general notary section, and then we'll do one more in the notary signing and identification. Next question is, true or false? A notary public can use a rubber stamp or electronic seal instead of an ink seal in all states.
It depends on your state. Even when you said it's in all states, that's the default response for a lot of notaries. Mm-hmm. So a lot of notaries think that they're lawyers and you're not, just straight up. And it's a bad thing to try to even teeter on the line of being of knowing the law in and out, statutes and sections and codes and articles. It's dangerous, and it can really talk yourself out of business if you start to approach it in that way. But so the ink seal, the electronic seal.
Mhm.
I've seen electronic journals nowadays. It's the digital era that we're in, so I've seen
Yeah.
those, and I've seen the electronic signatures. So there's a wide range of those. I'm just giving some context to the question and to the answer. In California, again, living, breathing person. That's what I always do. You cannot dispute a living, breathing person. You set eyes on them. They have air in their lungs. They have blood in their veins. I can see them. So signature, wet signature, and thumbprint. That's what I default on. So,
What would you say?
well, the answer is false.
You're right again, brother.
Yeah.
Some states require a physical stamp or embossing.
Yeah, that's my long response. That's my long answer.
Yeah, you're knocking them down though, bro. You're knocking them down. I hope you guys are taking notes. This is just fun trivia. There's no harm. No feds are gonna come to your crib if you get it wrong. All right. So last question of the notary trivia. A notary can notarize a document if the signer presents an expired driver's license as identification. True or false?
All right. So did you see the person? Answer yes or no. Yes, I saw them person. Were they alive? Yes or no. And did they have a Sam's Club card? Right. Well, they had a birth certificate. I didn't ask you that. I asked you, did they have a library card? Well, they had the Social Security card. All right. No, they had an expired driver's license tag. Okay. So did it have their picture? Was it them or was it some Asian dude? Like were you at a black person's house and then they pulled out a picture of a Japanese guy? Look at the picture. Is it them? Yes. Is it their name? Is it their signature? Yes. Is it expired? So that's the question. Is it expired? No. Yeah. Did it expire yesterday? Did it expire last year or did it expire 10 years ago? It could be, one of the above. Now, in some states, you can go up to 5 years of an expired license, and I'm saying really? California. Oh yeah, California, you can go up to 5 years. But it always goes back to the question: is this person a living, breathing person? Did they present in front of you? And if somebody has an expired ID, that doesn't mean you cannot help them. I want to be very, very clear, especially to the new notaries and some of the experienced people out there. Don't be I want to dispel this fear that you guys all have because this industry is so fear-based. My God, man, it makes me so fired up that people they're like fear mongers. You can't do this. You can't do that. You can't charge this. You can't charge that. You can't say this. It's always you can't. Well, what can I do, damn it? Oh my God, what can I do? Oh, so all right. Because you don't have Sabrina, you didn't do your proper disclosures. So, right? If you have Sabrina, you wouldn't have to worry about this problem. But let's just say you are the unlucky few and you don't have Sabrina. So now, because you didn't do your due diligence and you didn't get the proper disclosure, you show up to somebody's house and they have an expired ID. Now what?
Right.
Do you walk out the house? You drove 30 miles for nothing and then you can't help them? Well, you do have options. You do have alternatives. See, now we're talking about strategy. Now we're talking about training. So you have the option of getting credible witnesses. You can get somebody who can identify this person. Should you still take their ID? Yeah. Even if they have a credible witness, you still take their ID. Did it expire yesterday? Did it expire 5 years ago? 7 months? Doesn't matter. Signature, thumbprint, always defaults to that. If it's expired, get somebody to identify this person. Cousin, uncle, brother, nephew, neighbor, caretaker, coworker, somebody. Damn, you have 2 people, preferably, who can identify this person. And then if it does expire, what else you got? So you want to build up your case. This is what I would do. I would take give me everything. Get what you got. You got a library card, you got a Costco card, Sam's Club, you got your driver's license, you got your passport. If something's expired, I'm taking everything, and I'm taking the credible witnesses, and I'm taking the thumbprint. So what I'm saying is, you can still help the person. And I know there's somebody out there who's going to say, you can't do that. Oh my God, you can't do that. Shut up. You can do that. The whole idea is to help this person. What are you going to do? Turn around every single person who comes to you? That's how you talk yourself out of business. That's why you're not in business very long. And that's why you're on these websites and on these signing services begging for work.
He on one, y'all.
Yeah, man.
Tech smoking right now.
Up, man. The whole purpose, there's so many people talk about they're in business, and the reality is that you're not in business. You're in the business of losing money. That's what the business you're in. If you're looking for ways of or what you can't do, and you're listening to all the messages of what you can't do, and when the reality is that those people are terrified, those people are scared, and you're listening to messages from people who are terrified, and they think that they're going to go to jail. They're looking over their shoulder that the Secretary of State is going to come rob them or come lock them up, put you in the cage. Stop it. The notary industry is a money industry. This means that people are serious. Yeah, you got some scammers. Yes, you got some people who are fraudulent. But at the same time, for the overwhelming, right, Tiger, the overwhelming majority of people are they just trying to take care of something.
They're honest and good people.
Yeah, and you do the best you can with the resources that you have. But what I'm saying is, if you get in front of somebody and then they have an expired license, that doesn't mean you just turn them away.
Right. Now you did give like the workaround on that one, right? But if you were to go to a client that it was just them and they had an expired ID, for the sake of this question, right?
Yes.
What would you say?
Hey, man, go get your neighbor and your cousin, coworker, your uncle, your caretaker. Go grab somebody and tell them and have them and make sure that
that's
they have
really not difficult at all. It's not a difficult thing to do for you to just, make that suggestion to them. And for them, they may not have been thinking outside that box like that because they were in the trenches. So by you suggesting, hey, do you have a caretaker? Do you have a neighbor that can just vouch for you? Because it's true what you said, Tech, that like elderly people, sometimes they don't have time to renew their license or get the infinity license, right? They're alive. They're good. They're not trying to scam anything. Like they're at the crib. So that strategy is a very good workaround. Like definitely take notes on that.
It happens all the time. But
would you say true or false?
Wait, what was the question again?
Can a notary notarize a document for a person that has an expired license?
It depends. And I hate that answer, man. But for the sake of the question, I'm going to say false.
You are correct, brother. You are correct. So, but you gave the workaround on that. That's the thing. You gave the workaround on how to still service and provide value to that client with your services. So, no, that's solid. That's solid. Anything else you wanted to add to that?
Yeah. At the end of the day, the whole purpose is to help the client, right? Isn't the whole purpose to help your community, so-called, that you say, I just want to help people? No, the purpose is really to make money. As a startup notary business, because again, we talk about business here. We're not talking about how to fill out the jurat correctly, where to put your name. Go to Andre Hatcher. He can train you on that. You need confidence, you need coaching. Go to Andre Hatcher for that. We'll teach you how to get business and how to stay in business so that your doors don't close. So at the end of the day, you got to think the whole purpose is to get this person across the finish line. You just bought some property in Ghana, West Africa. You moved from the United States and you went to Ghana and you said, the hell with it. I'm going to open up my own Airbnb, bed and breakfast hotel. You need to execute the sale of your property back in the United States. You can't fly from West Africa back to the United States. It's unrealistic. So you do it electronically, right? The whole purpose is, and then they get to the thing, and then they have an expired ID. Like, what, the deal's done now? All of a sudden? Come on now, help this person, provide the solution. Trust me, you'll stay in business much longer.
Yeah, you're a problem solver, right? You know, they have a problem, you know, put on your thinking cap and solve the problem that they're having. That's it. It's that simple now. But you know, they say statistically that one of the hardest things for people to do is use their noodle. You know, critical thinking is a very difficult thing. That's why distractions and TV and media and binge watching is a thing. Going to casinos and being occupied with distractive things forces you not to critically think about problems and solving problems. So, I mean,
yeah,
you're gonna have to figure that out, my man.
They call themselves entrepreneurs, not even knowing what the definition of an entrepreneur is. An entrepreneur is not somebody who just works for themselves and keeps all the money and just self-employed. That's not an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur, you're putting together solutions. You're solving, you know, either you do it by yourself or you do it with systems. You're bringing a solution to somebody's problem for a desired outcome. That's an entrepreneur. So if you call yourself, just because you passed the notary, the national whatever exam, and then all of a sudden you have a commission, now you're all of a sudden you're an entrepreneur. No, you're not. You haven't solved anybody's problem yet. Find a solution, man. Somebody comes to you, give them a solution. Stay in business. Keep your doors open, please.
Yeah. Shout out to Sammy, 1970-ish. Put the fire emoji in the joint. You know what I mean?
Great name, Sammy.
Great. Oh, by the way, I got some new sound effects tech. So, like I said, man, we're gonna start having a lot of fun with this show, man. Let me run through just a taste of some of the sound effects I added to our new show, Notary Insights. Shout out to you guys, everybody that's tuning in, by the way. So I have this one.
I'll get neutralized.
I can use that. I'm already thinking about ways we can use those.
Yeah, they're so new right now. I haven't figured out how I'm gonna maneuver them. I got this one too.
You suck, you jackass.
I like that one.
I'm gonna tell you, this is my favorite right here.
Ha! Gay.
That sounds like your voice.
That, you know, that's the Asian doctor dude from Hangover. That dude is the funniest. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do know.
Oh man, that dude is hilarious to me, man. So that's gonna be one that I use, you know, sparingly. And then I like this guy right here, man.
Oh, Nelson Munson or Nelson something. Yeah.
And then I got
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
All right.
That could go with you know, oh no, don't do this because the notary feds will be knocking at your door.
The notary feds, yeah.
The notary feds.
Right. With their handcuffs.
So, Tech, let's get right into it, man. So today's topic is the $100,000 blueprint, how smart notaries are doubling their income. Okay. So today we're going to break down some strategies on what top earning notaries are using to scale their business. We're going to include, it's going to include like some type of automation. We're going to talk about automation. We're going to talk about some upselling. Then we're going to talk about, you know, referrals and how important that is, like follow-ups and stuff like that, which Sabrina AI can do a lot of that stuff for you, a lot of that heavy lifting. But lead it off, brother. Let's start off with matter of fact, let's talk about automation, how notaries are using automation nowadays.
I love automation. For the record, I am the person to talk about automation.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah. I mean, before I like to I don't give myself a ton of credit, but I give myself the credit for introducing automation to the notary industry. And, I know there's some people who have different opinions about how automation works. And mostly it's basura. And what I mean by that is basura.
I might have to like clone your voice and put that on one of my sound effects. Basura.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great. I like that. Because, and here's what I mean by that, in all seriousness, you guys. So this is a one-man show for the most part. There's not very many notaries who have staff. I know they exist, but I'm saying for the most part, if you're watching this, you're probably a one-man or one-woman show operation, just doing everything by yourself. Now, that was my case. I knew that in order for me to have a sustainable operation, I can't do everything, mainly because I had another job and I liked that job. I didn't want to leave the job. So when I came across Rise of the Smart Notary, then a lot of these strategies, techniques really gave me the green light to go ahead and say, hey, man, I'm on the right track. Okay. Now, this is when I started to search for ways that I could replace myself. A combination of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, combination of the 4-Hour Work Week, the Rise of Smart Notary, all of this knowledge, all these books, and all these techniques came together. And that's when the whole idea of automation, notary on automation, there's no one doing it at the time. I know there's some people who talked about creating like templates and creating these email scripts that you can send off to title companies and calling that automation. You see what I'm saying? When people talk about automation, they're not talking about real automation. They're just talking about overtime.
Nah, you're the original OG of the automation, bro. Nobody touching you on that.
Yeah, man, and I appreciate that, and I take that seriously because I'm about that life, man. I'm about that automation life. So when I talk about automation, but here's the deal, man. I'm talking about removing yourself completely from the step by step tasks and daily processes of acquiring a client. All right, according to my recent now, for the record, I got some academic background on me, and I know how to properly conduct research. I do have a master's degree, just for full disclosure. So in order to get a master's degree, you got to demonstrate some level of research and how to document note and document real results, and how you arrive to those results. You got to show proof of that, right? You can't just say stuff. You got to actually say, well, where'd you get that from, and how'd you come to that? Anyway, so according to my study and my research and I did this for 2 years. Every step of automation that you implement in your business saves you, on average, 19 minutes. You reclaim 19 minutes of your time and your life. How does that feel when you do one thing and you no longer have to do it ever again? You claim 19 minutes back into your life. That's better than money.
Yeah.
That's better than money, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. It's way more priceless than money. And that's just, is that per day, or is that like, how is that calculated?
Per task. So, for example, you automate the whole process of answering the phone.
Yeah.
Every phone call, every phone call may not be 19 minutes long. So that's what I'm saying. On average, right? And because we have Sabrina, and again, if you don't have Sabrina, you're slipping already. But Sabrina can automate the whole entire. I'm saying you don't ever have to write an email again.
Yeah, man.
So imagine how much time you've reclaimed. You've reclaimed hours back. So and you compare that to a 6-minute phone call. So so that's how that 19 minutes came about. All right.
Per task.
Per task, yeah. So we can go into some more conversation about that. So automation, there was So to answer your question, I'll finish with this. There was a post that was posted on a Sabrina on a command center. So for those who don't know, again, if you don't have Sabrina, you're already slipping. There's a command center that we have that all of the users, it's a knowledge sharing, knowledge base. One of the users posted something recently about 2 nights ago, and it talked about the difference of an equitable business versus a cash flowing business. Do you know the difference between the two? Has anyone ever explained that to you? Because you may have heard it in different terms, but an equitable business versus a cash flowing business, the difference between the two. And if you don't know the distinction, then you might, like some people call themselves business owners and they're not business owners. Right? Some notary signing agents call themselves business owners and they're not business owners, and then they get confused and they're wondering why they have to sign up for all these databases and these signing services, and they can't name their own price, and they're looking for direct work from title companies. That's not a business owner, right? That's an employee. So you have to make a distinct difference. So somebody who has an equitable business. I hope I'm saying that right. I know I'm saying it right.
Yeah, you're saying it right.
Yeah. A cash flowing business is, in brief, a job, something that you have to go out and do it. I'll give you an example: a real estate agent. If you sell a house, you get paid a commission for the work that you do, and then you have to go and sell another house, right? The moment you stop selling houses, that's when you stop getting a commission. Is that true? Versus an equitable business, let's say you open up a real estate brokerage. You have real estate agents who sell houses. Now, you are not selling houses. You employ or you contract real estate agents, who sell houses. Now, you haven't sold a house, but you can still get a commission because you own the brokerage. That's an equitable business. So using something like Sabrina instantly takes you from a cash flowing notary public to a equitable notary business owner immediately. Is instant. It's not overnight. It's not next week. It's instant. The moment you employ Sabrina, you have now given yourself. It's like how the Rise of Smart Notary talked about becoming an agency owner. You now just immediately you go from, or you have the ability to go to, kind of go back and forth, depending on you. You go from a cash flowing notary public or signing agent to an equitable business owner or notary entrepreneur. So automation accomplishes that. Automation absorbs all of these tasks that you otherwise would be stuck doing: printing, answering phone, sending emails, responding to emails, executing the appointments, printing out paper. All those things immediately get processing payments. All that stuff gets removed once you employ automation. I'm the man to talk about it. I literally, my heart starts to race whenever I start to talk about it because I love it so much. There's no way you can go back to being a regular notary signing agent, business owner. You're not
so Tech, we got a question from Sammy, 1970-ish, right? He said, "Man, I got to go back, go back to work. I was listening to the recording. Thanks, y'all. Sounds like fun too. I am going to leave this question. When sending an automated email to a title company, how often do you update the message?" Great question, by the way.
Yeah, I would update it every single time. Now with Sabrina, here's literally what I would do.
Okay.
I would set up an one automation, and basically this is what it would look like. I would do it for 7 days, and each day it would just be like 4 sentences. It wouldn't be anything longer than that. It would be like maybe 3-4 sentences at the max. I would tell them, it would be, "Hey, have you considered looking for an outside?" By the way, I don't work with title companies because they call me, I don't call them. But if I were to solicit work from a title company, this is how I would do. It would be it would be a 4 sentence message for 7 days. Every single message would be, I would at least have a sign off. The sign off would be different every single time.
Mm-hmm.
If it was the same exact thing, this is the reason why. If you had the same exact message every single day, that's too obvious, right? People will stop reading by the third day. People will probably stop reading. And the reason why we know this, Tiger, right, is because of the email marketing that we do.
Yeah.
And when you have the send off or the postscript, talking about like the 4 options, 4 ways you can work with us, that can stay the same, but the body of the message has to be different, right? Sending the same message over and 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 over again is the moment that somebody realizes that this is the same message, they're going to do the exact same thing that they did the previous time and not respond. So if it's different, this is why I would send something different. But you are not sending that message. Sabrina's sending those messages. Now, do you have to set it up in the beginning? Absolutely. Like everything else, you have to set that up at the beginning. But again, for every automation, you've saved 19 minutes of work. How's that?
How often do you send out emails?
Every day.
Every day. Every single day.
Every day. Now, do I suggest you do that if you've never sent an email? That might be a pretty tall task.
Overkill.
Yeah, maybe work up to that. But I send out messages every day.
Well, the way I feel about email is, I mean, my perspective may be a little bit different. If I subscribe to your page and I like what you're talking about, I want to hear from you more. You know what I mean? If it's something that's helpful and interesting, for instance, heck, I subscribe to the Wall Street Journal, right? Not all the topics that's in the Wall Street Journal is what I want to read. I just go straight to the business section. So every time they send me an email about business, I want to read it. I want to read the business and finance. That's how I feel about, any other email. If it's something that is helpful, insightful, maybe it'll make me laugh. Subscribe to a joke email list. I want to hear from them, sometimes not even just once a day, maybe 2-3 times a day. So, and again, this new generation that's coming up, they're recorded to respond more to their emails than any other previous generation. They're going to open their emails up like 80-85% more than Gen X and previous generations. So they want emails. Believe it or not, emails is far from what they would say dead. It's like even more active than it's ever been. And then now you have AI, and then you have Sabrina that can, craft out these wonderful curated emails. It's a wonderful thing now. It's one of the main ways to stay in communication without your content or your communication channel being suppressed, like an Instagram or YouTube or Facebook. Your communication is going to be suppressed with those platforms. They're just going to do it. Look, I could show you analytics from my YouTube of the last 7 days. I have about 1,000, almost close to 2,000 on YouTube. But for some reason, my view counts are, like, it's weird as hell, Tech. It's all at 400 something. It's like right in the middle. I was like, so what are you guys doing? Like, as soon as it hits 400, you guys start putting a stop to it? It's the weirdest thing to me, man, because the last 10 posts, all of them are in the 4s. So I know what they're doing.
You're talking about something that's very serious, and I want people to kind of catch this. He's talking about email and talking about sending messages every day and how people, they may want to hear from you, and it's subjective as to what's right and what's not right, what's wrong and what's not wrong. But what he's saying is something. What Tiger is saying is something that's, and I want you guys to catch this. how serious this is about your ability not to reach the person who is a customer or somebody who's a client of yours. If you're emailing them, you can reach them directly. But if you're not emailing them, you're actually using some other type of method, then you actually don't control that.
Right.
You don't know whether it's a question mark as to whether or not that person actually receives it. Email actually eliminates that uncertainty, and you can definitely email them. You can definitely reach or get in contact or deliver what it is that you're trying to deliver. Using something like Instagram, they'll block you. Facebook, they'll block you. YouTube, they'll block you.
Yeah.
TikTok, they'll block you.
You know, I recently seen this video. Shout out to Nikki Sanders, Bigger Than the Brand, and she was talking about how the algorithm has changed, and she was explaining it, and I was like, you know what? The algorithm is becoming the new pimp, and the content creators are becoming the hoe. Because if you are relying on the algorithm to push your content or your form of communication, that means the algorithm controls you. If you're telling me that in order for me to somehow like trick, they really think they're tricking an algorithm and shit. Like the algorithm is not like playing poker with you guys. It's already set. They're saying, look at somebody else's content that is successful, and then basically copy their thumbnail, copy their title, copy their content. Like, I'm from the era, Tech. I was born in 1975, but you know, I'm 80s, 90s. Hip hop is just coming up. It's making a splash. Copying people it just wasn't part of my mix. It was like a rapper trying to copy another rapper. That was always like a no-no. You know what I mean? Yeah. It was like wearing another nigga drawers. You don't do that. So for me, this whole, you know, content creation, I don't choose to play in that field. I know you ain't feeling that either, but I choose not to play in that field because it stifles my originality. It stifles what I may feel that my audience may need, not what the algorithm wants to see. I don't want to be the bitch to an algorithm. So that's why I'm very pro email marketing, because email marketing is probably one of the last channels besides the phone that they cannot stifle your communication. They're not going to tell you, oh, we want you to start communicating like this. We want you to start making videos like this. We want you to start making thumbnails like this. Like, damn, can I not be original? I'm cool with not having my channel monetized. I'm good with that. I can make bread other ways. Shout out to the cats that are making money on YouTube, but that, man, I'm gonna do it on my terms, bro. I'm like a black Frank Sinatra. I'm gonna do it my way, not the way YouTube wants me to do it or Instagram wants me to do it. That's bugged out. But that is the trend that is happening, and what's happening with the social media, not to get too far off topic, is that social media is now dictating the way they want you to release content. So they're basically creating these wonderful, creative, imaginative people to push their agenda, which is to get more advertising. So believe it or not, you guys are watching a live TV show. Notary Insights is a TV show. I don't treat it nothing less than an actual show that you would watch on ABC, NBC, Netflix. We are a live broadcast TV show right now. I know what they're doing. So they would say, hey, look, this TV show is great. Add this to the mix, add that to the mix. And then that way we can send some advertising, and then we'll give you a piece of the share. Tech, you and I both know we've been making money on YouTube and we haven't been monetized.
Yeah, we're not for sale.
But I didn't want to get too far off topic.
It's not off topic. This is actually on topic because we're talking about ways that notaries can make, can scale their business, and email marketing, automation. It's all a part of that.
Yeah. So Sammy said, thanks for the info on that, the 7 days change. And then there's one other question Sammy had right there was still here about the text. No one talks about sending marketing by text. That is true. I mean, we do.
We do, yeah.
but it's in our AI command center though in Sabrina. We talk a lot about that. Even the laws that are being passed now, because texting is becoming very, very regulated. You want to expound on the texting on the marketing side of it?
Yeah, with Sammy-ish, 1970-ish. Yeah, we talk about it. It's just not publicly.
Yeah, we just don't talk about it publicly.
Yeah, but you're right. Email marketing, text message marketing is very powerful. But thanks, marketers and spammers. Thanks, you guys. Now Verizon and AT&T and all of the telecommunication industry, they're cracking down. So now we all have to jump through hoops in order to get our now customers. The unique thing about the notary industry is that customers, if you're doing it correctly, they come to you. You don't go to them.
That's what's unique about the notary business.
Very unique to this industry. And I'm glad you said the notary business, not signing services, not signing agents, notary signing agents, because that's not a business, but unique to the business of notary. Customers, not title companies or escrow officers or SnapDocs. When you're doing the notary business, customers come to you. We communicate confirmation emails, courtesy text message reminders, appointment reminders. We communicate with text messaging. Sabrina does that. So in order for us to actually, but this is unique because we're not soliciting business from them, or we're not marketing to people who came to us. They've already spent money with us. They've already handed over their wallets to us. So the communication companies have cracked down, and now in order for us to send automated messages, then you have to be a registered company. And Sabrina does it. Sabrina delivers walks you through that whole process so that you don't have to send manual text messages, which is what I used to do. I used to send manual messages before I automated that whole process and saved 19 minutes of my time back.
Indeed. So before we go into the money corner, one last thing. What would you say about upselling? And how important is upselling in the notary business?
Can you imagine going to Domino's Pizza or Chicago Pizza or Miami Pizza? Could you imagine going to Starbucks, McDonald's, and they did not ask you, did you want fries with that? Could you imagine going to Domino's Pizza and they didn't ask you if you would like a 2-liter soda? I mean, just take a moment. And can you imagine going to Chipotle and then they didn't ask you if you would like chips with this?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh, hell no!
I'm gonna take it even a step further because I know some of you guys don't even believe me as I'm asking you these questions. You still don't believe me. I'm gonna take it just in case. I'm gonna take it a little bit deeper. Could you imagine going to Pizza Hut and then they didn't even tell you when the pizza would be ready? They just left it up to chance. They said, "Oh, I guess whenever you get here, maybe 10 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, maybe 30. We might be backed up. Maybe it could be 45 minutes or an hour before it gets delivered." So And then I'm going to take it just because, again, I know that there's somebody out there listening. I know there's a notary signing agent listening to me right now who don't believe me. So I'm going to take it even further. Not only did they not offer you the soda, not only did they not tell you when it would be ready, not only that, but they also didn't even tell you what the price was. Think about that for a second. Could you imagine a world where they didn't offer you, for whatever reason, they didn't, probably poor training, but they didn't offer you what else comes with it? The cinnamon sticks, the cheesy bread, they didn't offer you nothing. They didn't tell you when it would be ready. And they didn't even tell you how much it would be. That's how some of you guys are running your notary business right now. You might be guilty of that. Look yourself in the mirror right now. You might be guilty of that. I certainly was. And that's the only way that I was able to advance beyond that. That's how we were able to progress and evolve beyond that, because we looked ourselves in the mirror and we admitted to ourselves, we're running a damn Mickey Mouse cartoon operation right now. We're not in business. How would you feel if you call somebody and they didn't even tell you how much it cost, they didn't tell you when it would be ready, and then they didn't even offer you any other of the options? Your notary business that doesn't offer an upsell is not a business. You're leaving now. Put aside the whole fact that you're leaving money on the table. I think that's probably beyond a lot of new people. They're just trying to get appointments. They're not even concerned about leaving money on the table. We know that they're leaving money on the table. We know that most of the coaches and the so-called gurus and educators out there are not telling people all about how they can recapture. Man, people are running out of gas trying to get to these appointments because they waiting 40 days to get paid. That's not a business.
Yeah, that's not cool, man. That's not cool at all.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
They're telling you should take these. You just got commission yesterday and you should start at the bottom. You should charge $20 just so you can get your feet wet. What?
Damn.
Do you not have a notary commission? Why can't you charge what I charge? You're qualified to do just as much as I can. If I passed medical school, I went to medical school and I passed the MCAT, and I got into the school and I passed my board exam, I'm able to perform a surgery. Just now, the different levels of qualification. Maybe that's not a good analogy, but I'm working on my analogies. I'm trying to get like Tiger. So the upsell, by the way, if you're not offering these options to people, then not only are you missing out on business, but you're cheating your client and you're hurting yourself.
Yeah, definitely. You are cheating your client. Man, that right there, bro. If that doesn't say anything, like you said, take the money thing out of the equation. The fact that you're cheating your client because you know that you can offer them a better service, but you didn't offer that to them. It would be like the McDonald's person. You go there and then they give you everything is small. You go there and you say, hey, I want a Big Mac, fries, and a drink. And they give you a Big Mac, small fries, and a small ass drink. And you know this dude is hungry. You'd be like, he told you he's starving. You don't offer it. Would you like, make it a large? You don't want an apple pie with that, like as a dessert? Like you literally are cheating your customer out of a great service that you actually offer. So the upsell it's not really you. Yeah, there's a transaction. Everybody knows there's a transaction. It's business. If you don't know that there's going to be some type of transaction happening, that something's wrong there. They understand that they're calling a business, but at least give them the option to upgrade to first class. If first class is only a couple of $100 more, don't count their pockets. I'm gonna tell you, don't count their pockets. That's a big no-no in just sales, period. You don't count a person's pockets. You don't know how much money they're making. You don't know how much money they have. You don't know how, how they're moving money around. Do not count their pockets just because your spending habits are different. So if you offer, top tier services, bro, that's like going to a bar in a nightclub, and they tell you, do you want a Long Island iced tea? Yes, I do. Do you want top shelf liquor? Motherfucking hell yeah, I want top shelf liquor.
Right.
But you gonna give me the bottom of the well? Fuck you out of here. I don't want that, man.
Gay.
No, I want the best of the best. So yeah, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I mean, you'll never come back. Otherwise, you'll never come back to this place. You want to go to the place where they open up the velvet ropes and then they offer you the whole menu. Do you want it today or do you want it next week?
Mm-hmm.
I want it today. Okay. Do you already have the document prepared, or did your printer run out of ink and we could provide it for you? Just upload the document for us. Yeah, okay. All right. Did you want to keep the document with your client, Mr. Attorney, or did you want us to ship it, the original, back to your office?
All those are upsells, yo.
Upsells. Bro, this is stuff that you can use today. We're not talking about use ChatGPT to draft out a fake email and then pull out a manila folder and then staple your business card to it and then walk into a title company and then beg them for work. No, and then wait 7 days and then do that over and over and over and over again, wasting gas money, wasting lunch, and then wasting your time. And then hopefully, maybe, possibly they'll call you back for a $60 order. But it costs you $120 to do all that legwork. No, we're talking about stuff you can use right now, today. Mm-hmm. This is stuff that we've been doing for years. We're just giving it away to you guys. There's no competition. Zero competition, bro. Zero competition. Go use this stuff. You can use it today, right now.
Yeah. So, Tech, you already know what time it is, but before we go into the money corner, let's go into a commercial break.
As a part-time traveling notary with a full-time job, balancing everything can be tough, especially when you're getting calls at all hours. That's where Sabrina AI comes in. Think of Sabrina as your personal assistant who answers every call, handles answers to common questions, and filters out non-urgent inquiries. Sabrina works 24/7 so you never miss a client opportunity, even when you're tied up with your full-time job. With this system, you can keep things running smoothly without the stress of managing calls yourself, giving you more time to focus on your work, clients, and everything else life throws your way.
Scan the QR code for a free demo.
Well, you guys know what time it is. You know what time it is. It's a cue.
Dirty engineer boy. Circle it. Circle it.
It is now time for Money Corners with Tech Amaku. This is where we talk about finance. We talk about things that will help you with your finances. You're going to be making money in this business and other businesses. We want you to circulate your money. That I think the theme song deserved another round.
Dirty engineer boy. Circle it. Circle it.
I just realized this says dirty engineer boy. I just realized that. Let's see. So I'm going to share my screen. Okay.
Sure.
Hopefully it shares correctly. So I'm going to do this real quick. But today, we're not going to overwhelm you with this information because I know a lot of it is new. And a lot of it is, it's going to take some time to kind of work up to it. But that's okay. You got to start somewhere, my friend. And today, I'm going to give you guys, you can see my screen? Are you able to see my screen? Are you able to see my screen, Tiger?
Yeah, Tech, you good?
Okay. All right, my friend. You just need to see. All right. So now, what you're looking at, this is my, you see my name, you see my business there, Oakland Prime Mobile Notary. This is from American Express. American Express sent me an offer to, and let's read, by the way, let's read. So I want to make sure everybody gets this, especially for people who watching this on replay, and then you might be driving or, at the gym or, walking with your dog or something. But I just wanted to make sure that you guys don't hear. So it says, this is a promotional offer from American Express business. And it says, enroll in a 9.99% promo APR. Exclusive offer on eligible new purchases for 6 billing cycles. Then your purchase rate applies. Propel Oakland Prime Mobile forward with pay over time. Give yourself time to pay for key purchases and surprise expenses. Your pay over time option can help you purchase with confidence, manage cash flow gaps, get extra time paying off big purchases. Terms and conditions apply. Click here to learn more. Eligible purchases can be automatically included in a pay over time balance up to the pay over time limit. So we all see that, right? Now, my question to you guys is, why would American Express or any credit card company for that matter, a whole myriad of them, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Chase, whatever, you can name Citibank, your credit union, why would a multi-billion-dollar company that makes money off of interest, APR, 9.9%, why would they offer a promo of 9.99%? Why would that doesn't make sense. The average credit card interest rate, does anyone know? I know there's some people watching. The average credit, go look at your credit card contract. Feel free to put it in the chat if you're watching live, and then you can leave a comment if you're watching this on replay. What is your credit card interest rate? Take out all of your credit cards and list out the interest rates. Don't be ashamed. I'll tell you what mine are. My current interest rate, APR, is 27.49%. You see that in the red box? It says, exclusive offer on eligible new purchases for 6 billing cycles, which basically means 6 months. Then your purchase rate applies. The purchase rate is 27.49%. But for this offer, if you so choose to accept it, you can reduce that 27.49% down to 9.99%. Does that sound good to you? Of course it does. But my question, that's not my question. My question is, why would American Express make this offer? Let me break this down. Here's a couple of reasons why. Because I don't think it's any secret that we're velocity bankers over here. All right, we follow the principles and the strategies of velocity banking, which is an accelerated method of paying off debt and managing finances. Fair to say, Tiger? Because we follow these principles, we don't pay interest. I'm going to repeat that for you guys. If you're watching this on replay, you can go ahead and hit pause and hit rewind. But if you're watching this live, I'm going to repeat that for you because you're probably walking your dog or running on a treadmill and you just almost fell off. or you're driving your car, you almost went off the bridge. All right. Pull over. Because we're velocity bankers and we follow the principles and the strategies and the philosophies of velocity banking, we don't pay interest. So my question to you is, why would American Express offer a significant, Tiger, is that significant, from 27.49% down to 9.99%?
Oh yeah, that's a
Monster kill.
Bro, that could turn out to be not thousands of dollars, but tens of thousands of dollars in savings
indeed.
for us. And that could be that difference is tens of thousands of dollars of savings or earning for the company. Depending on how you look at it, they can either earn it or they can lose it, right? And that's actually going to be next week's topic. We're going to talk about the rule of 72, which means if you know compound interest, you earn it. If you don't know, you pay it. And compound interest can work for you, but it could also work against you. Again, if you know it, you earn it. If you don't know it, you pay it. But what I'm telling you is, we're back to the subject here. Because we're velocity bankers, we don't pay interest. Read my lips. We don't pay interest. That's why they're offering this. Because American Express doesn't make money off me. They're like, damn, we got to get something. I mean, can I get $1? Can I get $2 at least? American Express is like, damn, can we get like a nickel? American Express doesn't make money from me. I make money from American Express. American Express pays me. Because we're velocity bankers, we follow the principles and strategies and the theories, and not theories, they're definitely not theory, the principles of velocity banking. We do not pay interest. It's worth repeating. So how do we go about doing this? And let me answer this question: Why would American Express offer this? Because they're trying to. Banking companies, banking financial institutions, they make money. Just in case you guys didn't know, in this country, money is generated from interest. You lend out money, and then however long it takes to pay it back, you pay on the money that you borrow, because money has value. And the fact that you can either acquire, for example, $10,000 in one sum, and then you go out and then you're able to go purchase something for your business or purchase something, and then that's able to allow you to move. But it comes with a cost. The best example is your mortgage. You get to live somewhere, but you may not have $500,000 in one place, so you go borrow it, and then the bank or the financial institution or the lender, they charge you interest on the money that you borrow, but meanwhile you live there and you pay them back. That's the only way money is made in this country, by the way. I don't know if you guys know that or not. It's interest, the interest on the money that's lent. So the closer you get to zero, the better. From 27.4 now to 9.9%. Why would they do that? I just told you, because they don't make any money from me. So they're like, Tiger, this is an unheard of offer.
It is.
Now, I know that you might have seen something better than this, but let me tell you something. There ain't no way the only way you're getting 0% is if you do like a balance transfer, but even then that's temporary.
Right.
Right.
Extended for like a year or something.
Yeah, year, 15 months, 18 months, 20 months, whatever. But this is a business credit card. This is a business credit card. It's not like a personal credit card where a personal credit card, maybe you use it once or twice or 3 or 4 times. A business credit card gets swiped damn near every day. Money has to circulate. Circulate. It has to circulate. Otherwise, you get charged when it doesn't. If money just sits there, it's stagnant. The moment money stops, the moment a dollar stops moving is the moment it gets taxed. It has to move. Money that moves, money that's being lent, money that's being borrowed, money that's being spent. You don't get taxed on that. But the moment you start to hoard it, and the moment you start to save it, that's why your savings accounts gets taxed, because that money it grows in some interest, but you get taxed on the interest that grows. So are you really saving money? No, because you have inflation where the value of the dollar goes down, and then you get taxed on the earnings that you make. So you end up actually just breaking even. But when you spend the money, then you can, reclaim some of that. I'm talking about taxes now, so I'm kind of getting it's a little sidebar, but let's get back to the question, man. So why would American Express offer this? Because number one, they are not making money from me. So how do you even get to this point? Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Velocity banking is going to be one of the core principles of how you operate your notary business. The moment you charge somebody $100 for a signature, what happens to that $100?
Hmm.
Where does it go? Does it go into your pocket to pay your light bill, or does it go into your pocket to pay your car note,
Yeah, your checking account.
or your checking account? Where does it go? Or does it go back into your business in a la Google Ads? You pay $5 for a phone call so that you can make another $100, thus creating a 10x return. These are serious questions, you guys. The money gets spent every single day, but it's making more money. And therefore, when we use velocity banking and combine it with business credit or business operations, then we essentially create this private or internal banking system, this internal cash flow system, where now these companies, these large companies, are not taking advantage of us. We are taking advantage of them. You ever heard the question, is it possible to be your own bank? Well, yeah, that's kind of popular, circulating around on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok and people. But I always ask, what does that even mean? What does that really mean? Well, here's an example of how you can be your own bank. You have an internal, self-contained cash flow system where money goes out and then money goes in. And then what what you pay in interest is zero, meaning you're not paying someone else to use, OPM, to use other people's money. I'm not paying American Express to use their money. They want me to pay them, but because we're velocity bankers, we know how to navigate those scenarios. So right now, I want you to look at your credit cards, and I want you to look at the contract and see what's your current APR. So let me ask you, you know, will I take this offer? Will I accept this offer? Possibly, I don't have to. But the only reason why I would accept this under the conditions in which I would accept this offer is if I had a very large expense coming up and I knew that I was going to what they call pay over time. I knew that I was going to carry a balance. Therefore, let's say I spent $5,000. No, I'm gonna be more realistic. Let's say I spent $100. All right, let's make it more realistic. I feel like these large numbers sometimes people tune out, and if I bring it down to something that's more realistic, then people start to really pay attention, and then they can really grasp it. So let's
Yeah.
say I spend $100. When the payment is due, I don't pay off the $100. I make the minimum payment, which is $35. So I make the $35 payment, which brings my balance down to $65. Because I still have a remaining balance of $65, American Express, they have a pay over time feature. In other words, I get charged the 27.49% interest on the $65 remaining balance. So now that $100, which I then paid $35 on the minimum, which dropped it down to 65, and then I'm charged or I'm assessed a 27.49% interest, that 65 now goes up to, let's say, 87. So I really paid $13, didn't I? I didn't pay 35. I really paid about 13 because at the end of the month, my balance is now $87 because of my 27.9%. Now, the reason why I would use this offer is if I planned on not paying off the balance. That's the only condition in which I would use this offer. So at the end of the day, will I use this offer? No, I'm not. It's good to have options. When you use velocity banking and you use these type of alternative philosophies, these alternative approaches, you ready for this? A world of opportunities opened up when you use credit the way it's supposed to be used. When you're not afraid, you don't show fear, but you approach it in an informed, in an exciting way. And banks get happy because they're like, oh, wow, look at this. Somebody who knows how to use it the right way, the way it's supposed to be used. Let's offer them more because they want me to spend more money. American Express wants me, they're trying to entice me. Hey, man, spend some more money and carry the balance for 6 months. Pay for something that's really expensive and carry the balance. You won't get charged at 27%. You'll get charged at 9.99%. Doesn't that sound good? Well, yeah, it sounds good. But we're all about self-discipline here. We're all about righteous spending, and we're all about being smart and informed. And we want to educate you with the Money Corner. And today, that concludes the Notary Insights Money Corner. Thank you for allowing me to present.
Right before we jump out, I just want to let people know what made me into an evangelist for velocity banking, which thanks to you, you taught me how and why you do things. It was a conversation. I remember I had dropped my wife off at Bally's Casino, and I drive around the downtown Chicago. Downtown Chicago is probably it was actually rated for the second time in a row one of the most beautiful cities in the U.S. Downtown Chicago is just gorgeous, right? So I like to go over by Sofitel, I think it's called, hotel. Is you get to see the river walk and stuff. So I'm sitting in the car and I'm chopping it up with you, and then you had said something to me. You said that you don't worry about interest rates, and that was foreign for me, right? Because everybody in my circle, that's why it's very important that you take delicate care of the 5 people you're around the most, right? You said you don't care about the APRs, you don't care about the interest rates, and that was very foreign to me. And I was like, why? He was like, because of velocity banking. And then you recommended some people for me. Well, you recommended a guy for me and shout out to CJ, velocity banking guy. He was able to break down or elaborate some more of the stuff that you said, which he said that the principal is the host and the interest is the parasite.
Yeah.
Like the parasite needs a host to live. So when, as you explained, the 27.99% and you got it down to $65, the interest is only on that principal.
Yes.
So it's not on that entire $100 or $1,000. It's only feeding off of that. So the concept, it took me a while, y'all. I ain't even gonna lie. It took me about a week to like really understand those concepts because I was operating off of the old way of moving money. I was operating out of the old, dried up, shriveled, geriatric way of doing money. Like money don't, I'm learning from the people that said money don't grow on trees. You know what I'm saying? I'm learning from people that say credit cards are evil. These are the people that were reinforcing my habits when it came to finances. Velocity banking, which is a fairly new because it only came out in the 1990s. What is happening now is that credit card companies and banks are realizing that people are learning this velocity banking, and what it's making them do is create new products to accommodate people that are learning this form of velocity banking method. So
that's exciting.
It really is, man, because they're paying attention, right? they're paying attention, and that's why I think the Money Corner is going to be one of those groundbreaking, because there's only a handful of people talking about it. It's, as far as I counted, there's only 3 people really talking about it. So now it's 4, makes you.
Yeah.
But for those that don't fully understand, can you break down what velocity banking in layman's terms?
Velocity banking. So if you have a credit card, or you have a personal loan, or you have a mortgage, any form of debt, and the bank or whoever lend the money to you, they have a timeline for you to pay it off. For example, a 30-year mortgage. If you pay that 30-year mortgage every month on time, isn't it true that after 30 years, that mortgage should be paid off?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if you have a 4-year car loan, you just went and bought a new Toyota, and then you make payments on time every month for 4 years or 48 months, shouldn't at the end of that term, your car be paid off?
Yep.
Okay. So velocity banking is the idea that, like you correctly stated, there's when you get a loan, a mortgage or a car loan or a credit card, same thing. But for the sake of this conversation, we're going to use mortgages and car loans. There's 2 parts of that loan. When you sign that paper, they give you, there's 2 parts. There's the principal, which is the amount of money that they borrowed, that they gave to you. And then there's the interest. The interest is based solely on whatever the principal is.
Mm-hmm.
Now, to answer the question without getting too much in the weeds, there's compound interest. You probably heard of that,
Mm-hmm.
Albert Einstein, right? And then there's simple interest. So there's different types of interest, right? And we'll talk about that in the future. But when you borrow that mortgage 30 years, after 30 years, it should be paid off.
Mm-hmm.
You borrow that, when you finance that vehicle after 4 years, 6, 7, whatever years, after that amount of time, it should be paid off.
Mm-hmm. And you're talking about like the recommended payment, or the payment that they give you to pay.
The banks and the lenders, the financing company, or even your cousin who lets you borrow money, right? Pay me back by this Friday, right?
Yeah.
They give you a timeline to pay it off. That's their timeline.
Yeah.
But because we're velocity banking, we create our own timeline.
That's what I love about it right there.
That's the difference. So, and the difference is we always want to accelerate. So we use our knowledge and use our approaches to accelerate the payoff in the fastest way possible. And that's what velocity banking is. It's to pay off debt in an accelerated method that is not by the bank's schedule. It's our schedule. That's what internal banking is. That's what being your own bank. So when people talk about being your own bank, they talk about, see it on TikTok or Facebook or Instagram, be your own bank, right? Infinite banking. Oh, you see all these people talk about this thing, but they can't tell you exactly what it is because they don't do it. Or they may have heard it somewhere. But what I'm saying is, this is a simple form. You borrow money, and then instead of you following the bank's timeline, you follow your own timeline.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then what that does, you pay less to the bank because you're accelerating your payments. And then 2, you're recapturing your cash flow.
100%.
Love it. You guys have just tuned in to the Money Corner with Tekamaku, man. You guys are really going to learn a lot from this. I love this segment part of it. I'm glad he thought of creating it. And let's circulate this money.
Dirty engineer boy. Circle it. Circle it.
So we're at the hour and 30 minutes in now. And so we want to invite you guys. We want to send out a personal invitation for you guys to book a free demo to see how Sabrina AI can work in your notary business. It is a groundbreaking software that Tech and I has created. You can scan that QR code. Sabrina will answer your phone, schedule your appointments for you. Tech.
Yeah. Yeah.
What else can she do for you?
Yeah, Sabrina's gonna make your life easy. In other words, if you have a one-person show, you do everything, then the reality is that you don't have to do everything. So Sabrina will be your personal assistant. In other words, she'll answer the phone, she'll send out text messages, send out reminders, and yeah, she'll process the payment as well. So she books appointments. She has one objective: book the appointment. Every time you miss a phone call, that costs you $8. I don't know if you guys know that or not. Every time somebody calls you and you don't answer it, or you do answer it and you don't book that phone call, or you don't book that appointment, you've paid $8 out. Yeah. On average. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's a little bit less, but on average, just so think about the next time you miss a phone call. Think about the next time you're at an appointment, you're at the signing table, and then somebody says, "Hey, can you do single signature, one signature, two signature, three signature, 8 signature document today at 1:30," and then you miss the phone call. You try to call them back and they say, "Hey, you know what? Thanks, but no thanks. We already found somebody." Yeah. You not only lost out on the opportunity to make that a recurring client, a one-time client, but you've actually, now you're in the red. You've actually lost money on that. So Sabrina, to me, it wasn't worth it I couldn't afford to miss a phone call. It wasn't worth it to miss a phone call. So we had to find a solution, and Sabrina was that solution.
Indeed. And so right now, we are, for a limited time, you will get a 5-page optimized website. So for those that don't have websites and you are in the notary industry, this will be a great, addition to your notary business. You get a 5-page already optimized and ready to go. All you have to do is change your logo, phone number, and then your location, and then it's ready to go. You just hit publish now, and it's ready to go. You're going to get the phone automation, which is, we have 2 parts to that. I don't want to get too much. That's why we recommend that you book a demo with us. But we have an AI feature, and then we also have an IVR feature. Not going to get too technical with that, but she will answer your phone. So shout out to the homie Sammy. Like Sammy was watching Notary Insights on their break, but had to go back to work. So you can imagine Sammy may not be able to answer notary calls,
right.
Work. So at least with Sabrina's going to be answering the calls and booking the appointments, smart scheduling, booking the appointments for Sammy. There is an agency mode. Also, Sabrina's got to give him a business phone number. And it might be Samantha or Sammy, so I'm gonna say I don't know which one it is. And then you have the automated follow-up. So this is for people right now. I mean, it's for full-time notaries, but it's really, really something special for people that have a full-time job and then they're doing the notary business on the side. It's remarkable for them. Actually, I want to give a big shout out to my man, Steven Mercedes out of Bronx, New York. He's going to be on the show next Wednesday at 6 p.m. for Notary Insights next Wednesday. Tune into that. He is an active user of Sabrina, and he's doing some remarkable things out there in Bronx, New York. You guys can connect with him. If you guys need a notary, let's say you're out like Sammy's in Texas, connect with Steven Mercedes, that's out in New York. Now his agency just grew and now has an East Coast factor to it. Look, we're giving you guys the tools. We're going to give you guys the tools. We're going to give you top-notch people to connect with, the networking, the group. I can't even discuss what we do with the Discord. If you guys join our AI command center, the people in our personal group is phenomenal, which you'll also get access to that when you become a Sabrina AI member. So what I would like to do, once again, I'd like to extend a personal invite for you to get an exclusive demo. Go ahead and scan that QR code, and we would love to see you. Any final words, Tech?
Yeah, we talked about earlier about being a cash flowing business versus an equitable business, and the difference between the two. A cash flow business is basically you. An equitable business is something that's you, but it's also, there's a process behind it. And the best example would be something like a McDonald's, or the example that I used was being a real estate agent as a cash flowing business, and then being a real estate broker or owning a brokerage firm as being an equitable business. When you're a notary and you're trying to think about scaling and you're trying to think about expanding, there's only two ways you can do it. You can ask for more money, you can like ask for a raise. Mm-hmm. And if you have to ask for a raise, that should be the first sign that you don't have a business. And secondly, you can work overtime. You can work more. You can try to get more appointments. And then, even then, you still have to ask for more appointments from the title companies or from the signing services. You have to extend yourself. But when you talk about scaling from an equitable standpoint versus a cash flow standpoint, when you employ a business solution like Sabrina, you instantly have expanded. It's immediately. It's not overnight. It's instantly. It's immediately. You now have removed yourself from the bottleneck of what prevents the processing of appointments and processing the payments. So go ahead, give it a private demo. See what it is. See if you still have questions, get the demo. At least look into it. See what it is. At the very worst case scenario, you just say no, but at least inform yourselves.
Indeed. And with that being said, peace, love, and happiness to you guys. We wish you the very best in your life. Enjoy your day, seize the day, and party hardy.
That joint, nobody know with that joint.